Thank you for joining us today. This webinar is how to communicate your value with branding. So it's super important topic, and I appreciate everyone joining us today. Um, to do a deep dive into this, I want you to ask yourself, are you not attracting the right type of clients? Are you not able to charge as much as you want for your services? Your brand is how your company is perceived by those who experience it, right? It's like it's an emotional connection that people get when they come to see your website online and your brand, even how you show up. So I'm Deborah Scarpa, and we off from Home Designer Marketing. I also have Taylor here with me. She's helping today, and we offer branding services, custom and template websites, strategy, copywriting, logo design. We're full service marketing, SEO, Google Business Profile, social media, email marketing, all of it. If you're interested in getting a little bit more clarity on what's working and what's not working, then feel free to schedule a free audit where I'm going to do a deep dive with you into your branding, your website, your SEO to see what's working, what's not working. We're also going to take a look at some of your competitors and you know, see how competitive your area is. Is it going to be easy to get on the front page of Google, or is it going to take a lot of effort? That's important information to know. Today's agenda, branding, right? Why is your brand so important? Your Google business profile and online reviews, that is super important to branding. First impression and perceived value, right? How is somebody going to perceive your company if they don't know you and they're looking at you online? Brand experience, brand assets, like there's different types of brand elements. Elements of your brand that builds trust. How can you build more trust for your brand? This is approved by NKBA for CEU credits. Now, your ideal client is searching online. Absolutely. There are companies getting business online. So, one is the first step is like traffic, right? They're searching, they might be searching in Google Maps, they might be, searching to see who's showing up under the maps in organic SEO, social media, they might be getting referrals, they might be clicking on ads, they might be doing, seeing emails from you, right? You need traffic. And then it's driving it to your website. Your website is creating interest, building trust, and converting, getting somebody to take that next step, right? So it's really important that it's doing a job, it's doing all these things, it's generating that interest, building that trust, and converting, getting somebody to take action. And then the goal, right, is getting that ideal client. Why is your brand positioning so important? That's what we're going to dive into. So I want you to think about like when you're searching for anything, a restaurant, any type of service, right? You're always doing a search online. People are searching for your services doing the same thing. So everybody is searching online. And now with all the AI stuff you've been seeing when you do a search that those results come up too, right? But prospects are searching online for like a local interior design company or, kitchen remodel or whatever it is. They're searching online. They're looking at how many reviews the company has, right? They're going to pick probably the top three companies with the best reviews, maybe the top five. Then they're going to click on the websites, right? Think about how you search for a restaurant. You're going to search online for Italian restaurant where near me, wherever you want to go, or any other type of service. Then you're going to go through and you're going to look at the reviews, and then you're going to open up the websites and you're going to see like which one you emotionally are like connected with. So, um, whichever one you're getting that emotional connection with. So here's like a website after, like this is a website before, this is one after. We have clients with all different styles. So this one, like she's the perceived value is maybe she hasn't been in business that long. Maybe she hasn't like done big projects, right? Where this one, she's showing up like she's, doing bigger projects and everything like that. And I want you to like also think about, I know this is happening all the time, is like you have somebody who's younger, maybe really technical online, can, market themselves better. They didn't go to school for interior design, and maybe they're doing like really well when it comes to marketing and they're actually getting a lot of business, even though you might have more experience, right? But that is happening. It's super important to put your best foot forward and show up online looking like, as beautiful as the work that you're doing. That's what you want to show up. So, strong websites and brand identity will set your business apart from the competition. Absolutely, that's super important. Position you as an authority, right? You don't want to look like you're doing it as a hobby. You want to look like you're in business doing big projects and they can trust you to deliver that. Generate more leads, help you win larger projects, attract more of your dream clients, help you sell your projects for more. That's that perceived value, right? If it looks like you can do bigger projects and it looks professional and it looks gorgeous, they're going to trust you to take on those bigger projects. They're also going to assume that you charge more. Validate your business online, even if you're getting referrals. Like, don't be afraid to send people to your website, right? There's so many people where they're embarrassed about their website and it doesn't really represent them, and they're not promoting their business because they're not feeling comfortable sharing that. Well, I want you to know that people are looking you up online anyways. So, like whether you're sharing it with them or not, they're looking you up. So, you need to make sure that it looks gorgeous. And, it will like increase your revenue because of that perceived value, getting business. So, is your brand being perceived how you want it to be perceived? So, I want it to be like, look at your work. Does it match your work? Um, Here's some examples. So, here's the logo before, here's the logo after, right? So, when she came to us, she had, I think, a friend or somebody she knew who drew this logo here of the flower. She really liked it. We talked about cleaning it up and making it a little bit more like modern, not as much like a pencil drawing. And then she went through strategy with our team, and our team found out that all her clients were male, right? They were all male. And that flower logo was not going to work, right? So we designed several different logos and ended up with the client selecting this one, which has much more of a masculine type of look. And then this was her website before, and she does really high-end projects in Las Vegas. Here is her after, right? Like just gorgeous, really gorgeous designer. But see the difference in, like, if somebody didn't know who she was and they came to this website, and think about it, like, a male that's really successful in Las Vegas wants to do a big project. They come to this website versus they come to this one. They're going to trust this company more than they're going to trust this one. And then let's talk about is your prospect perception of you online the same as it is in person? So I want you to think about um, when you're meeting somebody in person in a sales meeting, like I want you to think about like how you're coming across. Are you really good at sales? Are you really, how when a client is working with you and they're getting this beautiful project done, and you have so many systems and processes that make that happen. You're really efficient. You're doing gorgeous work. You're is the perception online, does it match up with what you actually deliver? Like, think about how excited your clients are when you deliver a project compared to if they just look you up online. I want those to match. And if you're like somebody just starting out, then you still need a beautiful website that gives you that feeling. Maybe you can have less pages, right? Even a smaller website that, even a 3-page website, 4-page website that looks beautiful and communicates your value is going to be better than a website that, looks like you're in business doing this as a hobby. Um, so here's another logo before and after. Here is her before, and here is after, right? There's so many gorgeous fonts. Oh my gosh, I am in love with these fonts. I've spent like weeks and weeks going online looking at fonts, and Taylor, who's helping me out here today, she is also one of our logo designers, doing beautiful work. So here is her website before, right? It looks kind of busy, a little messy. And here is her website afterwards. And when you go to her website, this is actually like a video that's like comes from way back and kind of zooms in, and it looks um, like she does really big projects. It's like beautiful. How is your company being perceived? Is your brand and company being perceived as affordable, luxury, somewhere in between? Where is it? I want to make sure the brand and your actual company, what you're delivering, match. Is your brand and company being perceived as you're doing small projects? You're doing large projects? Like if your ideal client is really like, you know, bigger projects, full custom homes or, like bigger projects, and you're getting a lot of small projects that are not your ideal client, I want you to really look at your website and see, like, is it really communicating visually and in words, like, and in the text, what I am offering? If it if you're trying to sell larger projects and you're getting consistent small projects, you might have a brand like misalignment, right? Where it's not lining up with who your ideal client is. Is your brand and company being perceived as like a startup or somebody that knows what they're doing, that, has a lot of authority in that space, that they could trust? Like, think about that too. Here's another one website before, and here's his website after. He likes a really like clean look. Um, so it just depends on what type of designer you are. Like, what I want you to think for, you know, when you're looking at like what should my brand look like, I want it to be like a frame on a piece of art where it's showing off the work, showing you off. It kind of matches your style, even if you have different styles. Like, it's showing you off. It's not overpowering. Your brand is how your company is being perceived by those who experience it. Yep, it's that emotional connection. Think about when you go shopping, you find something that you're totally in love with. I know for designers, this is especially true, right? Like, you love beautiful things. So you're shopping, you find something gorgeous, you're in love with it. Like, you want that. You don't care what it's going to cost, right? That's how I want your ideal clients to feel. When they come to your website, I want them to be like, wow, I am in love with this person. They are exactly what I want. I'm going to, I want to work with them no matter what. That's the feeling that you want. It's more than just your logo. Your logo is a big part of it. Absolutely. Because the like design style, the fonts, the colors, all of that in the logo should be used in the rest of your website, brand, everything. You should be consistent. Um, but it is more than just your logo. It's your story, it's your style, it's your work, it's your values, it's your messaging, right? It's how you show up to a meeting. It's how you're dressed. It's it's your website. It's your photos. It's like all of it. It's your copy. It's the gut feeling that someone gets every time they interact with you and your business. So it's the gut feeling. Your brand includes both brand experiences and brand assets. So there's both, and we're going to explain that. Brand experiences, messaging, like the messaging anywhere on your website, all over the place. If you're on time, how easy is it to work with you? What are you wearing? Content, how responsive you are. Website functionality, office organization. Like, if they're thinking about working with you for a high-end project and they come to your office and it's a total mess, they're going to get a little nervous. Consistency, if you follow through, like in your sales process, like if you're, you know, not responding, late for meetings, all of that, they're going to be really nervous that like that's going to affect the, your ability to deliver, right? Client onboarding experience, how you communicate, those are all important. During building trust during your sales process. So we're going to talk through some things that you can do to, make sure you're consistent. Schedule multiple interactions to build trust over time. That is a big one. So I want you to think about like, even if you're trying to like date someone or make a good friend or like anything, like, you know, get somebody to buy a big project from you. Trust is built over time, and it's built by being consistent over multiple interactions. So when you're selling, make sure that like consistently have a meeting on the calendar. So when you have one meeting, see if they're willing to schedule the next meeting and continually build that relationship over time. Be dependable by doing what you say. Build trust with a professional sales presentation. Um, sorry, I have to clear my throat. Sorry about that. Share examples of your work to prove you have done it before. And make the best recommendation that fits their needs, right? I always think about, in sales, help first, right? Help them first. That's always my attitude. Give first, help first, and, do the best for the client. Make it easy for prospects to buy from you. If it's too complex and you make it too hard for them to understand how to move forward, they're just not going to move forward. Brand assets, logo, so important. Like, you know, sometimes people want to put an old logo on their website and the rest of their marketing material. I I want you to think about it's like somebody having a really old couch that they want to put in a really new like living room, right? It's going to be really hard to get that overall like feel for the room with that in place. The logo is the same. It really needs to be like looking gorgeous, and the elements of it, the fonts, the design of it, the colors, all of that should be used consistently in the rest of your marketing material. So it is like one of the core pieces that drives everything else. So if that's off, everything's going to be off. Website, social media profiles, Google business profile, Google reviews. Google reviews are so important. Um, Business cards, sales presentations, proposals, and invoices. All of those, branded elements of your brand assets. So colors, typefaces and fonts, photos, absolutely. Like you don't need to get every project photographed. We just need like your favorite projects, and we need them to look beautiful online, right? I want them to just be like, wow. It's just the lighting is beautiful. The work is beautiful, and simplify those photos. Like you don't need to do a lot of like staging. If anything, like make them as clean as possible to show your work, right? And really look through that camera lens with the photographer to make sure it's not getting too busy. Because when you have a lot of photos on the website and they're all together, if they're all really busy, it can be a little overwhelming. Um, graphic elements, hierarchy of elements, the page headline, the subheads, all of that, the hierarchy, white space, messaging, type of content, definitely social proof. Social proof could be, reviews. It could be, so many things, what associations you're in, what awards you've won. There's so many different elements there, where you've been published, your logo. Dive into this. Design, colors, typefaces, hierarchy of elements, white space, company name, and tagline. Yep. These are all really, really important. So, like even the fonts, if you're a little bit more traditional of a designer, maybe it's use a little bit more script. If you're more modern of a designer, maybe you use something that's more of a sans serif. If you use a lot of color in your work, then in a lot of different types of color, then maybe the color on the website and brand need to be a little bit more neutral, actually. So, your photos can shine a little bit more. Maybe, maybe not. Um, White space. White space is super important. We don't want it to look really a mess. We want it to be, you want the feeling of like peaceful, flowing, right? Like high-end resort logo. That's what the feeling, high-end restaurant, like beauty, calmness. Um, that's the kind of feeling that you want. Here's an example of a logo before and after. So you can see we picked up some of the elements in this one, but brought it up to speed, kind of elevated it. Here's another one, before and after. And here's another one. Here's a good example of somebody who was doing staging and wanted to offer more interior design services. So a lot of our clients will make a name change at the same time as their new logo. And as you can see, this positions her more as an interior designer versus this one. And your website. So elements of the website. Brand strategy and positioning. Absolutely. It's like we need to have a consultation with you and do a deep dive into understanding, who your ideal client is. What do you like what projects do you want? What projects do you not want? Like, what is your superpower, right? What is unique about you? You'd be surprised so many times we have clients going through strategy and we always are uncovering like wow moments of wow, we should really dive into that. Maybe you're really good at, you know, um, the whole process of delivering. Maybe like we have one client that flies around the world and collects art and buys art for clients. Like if that's you, then and you want more of those type of clients that appreciate that, then you need to communicate that, right? Um, SEO and keywords, they're based on this strategy here, right? The words that we pick, um, are based on the services that you're selling, the people you're trying to attract, right? Design and layout for the website. As you can see, all our designers are really different. Colors, what colors? Um, like you might have your favorite color, but that color might not be, maybe not, might not be the best color for your brand. You want a color that's not going to overpower your brand. So I want it to like kind of more be in the background and then more like a frame on a piece of art. Photos. It is so important to have some beautiful photos. I can't emphasize that enough. Uh, Lighting, angles, like I absolutely, just even making sure, like I was just looking at some photos recently and, the walls were at a really big angle. The ceiling was like, with the beam was like going down at an angle, right? Um, like really when you're working with a photographer, get in there and, you know, look at the photos he's taking and direct it. So, you're getting the right perspective on the room and it's like level and the lighting is nice and you have like, you don't have it too busy, where when it's in a photo, it looks like there's items like stacked on top of each other. Graphic elements, hierarchy of elements, negative space and white space. This is actually super important in the logo and the website. And having this, like that negative and that white space, actually brings calmness and peace. And that is what you want people to feel when they come to your website or they look at your logo. Typefaces, again, typically the same ones we're using on the logo. Messaging, content, copy, social proof. Here's a website before and here's after, right? Just a lot cleaner. And then your website functionality, right? Host your website on a trusted server. That's super important. So, really somebody that you trust, because it is super important that your website doesn't get hacked. We have a client right now that we were helping. She's on WordPress, but we didn't build her site. I was just helping her out, but like her website just got hacked with malware and it's just been a total disaster, right? You really like if you're doing if you have a WordPress site, make sure you're getting those plugins updated, make sure you're keeping your site secure, make sure you're having it on a trusted server so you don't have your website compromised because it's like such an important asset of your business. Um, Make your website navigation simple and obvious. So, like, I was trained as a graphic designer. I'm also a fine artist. Like, I love designing things and being different. You don't want to make your navigation different. You want to be consistent. So when somebody comes here and they give you 3 to 10 seconds to, figure out if they want to go to an inside page, you want to make sure that they know where to find that. Use a hierarchy of elements so prospects naturally gravitate, right? Some people are just going to scroll down and get a feel for your site. Some people are just going to read the headlines, and some people are going to read every single detail. Okay, so it has to work for both. Program your website to be um, compatible with all devices. Right? So it needs to be compatible. Test your website to fix any broken links or images. Your website content, include an offer that's easy to find. Communicate that you can solve their problem on the homepage banner, right? You only have like a very short amount of time to like get them engaged. Provide value and content that positions you as an expert. Have a professional design that reflects the quality of your work. Hire a professional photographer to take photos. Include the areas you serve on your website, right? So include those areas to set your business apart. And this is something that can be uncovered as you know, go through like strategy. Um, so what is your superpower? I always like to think, what is your superpower? What makes your company products or services unique? Do you offer a better quality product or service like than your competitors? Do you have faster project turnaround times? Are you more hands-on with your customers? Do you have a better process that will guarantee the results? Right? Do you have a better process? Over the years, we've talked to people who like they can figure out like the client what kind of style is going to be the right fit for a client by doing like certain steps, right? I don't want to give away their secret sauce, but um, you know, do you have a way to like a process for figuring out how you can help them? Do you have a more experienced team? Here's another one just to give you kind of get you to like feel the difference. This one versus this one, right? Huge transformation. Here, looking more like she's doing it as a hobby. Here, looking like she has a much more professional business. Tell your company story. Write a story about your past, present, and future. Share interesting facts about you and your business. And if you struggle doing this by yourself, then you definitely need to work with somebody who like can take you through like strategy, brand strategy to figure these things out. Share the problems you are passionate about solving. Write about your why, your inspiration and purpose. Let them know why you are passionate about helping them. Be human by letting your prospects see behind the curtains. Build trust with social proof. Have you been published or spoken at events? What well-known clients or partners have you worked with? How many clients have you worked with, right? Do you have like positive online reviews? This is super important, especially like the number one place is Google. It's going to help your website rank better. It's going to help you show up better in the Google Maps. Reviews can be from clients and partners and vendors, right? Um, and if you have a hard time with that, there's some things that you can do, like you could interview a client, write it up, send it to them with a link, ask them to, post it. It needs to be from them, but you can interview them and help them like write it up. Do you respond to online reviews and social media comments, right? Respond to them. Prove it with awards and certifications. Has your company won any awards? Any certifications? Do you have partnerships, sponsorships? What associations and groups are you members of? Do you make any donations or volunteer? And a quick kind of recap. Create a brand positioning strategy, messaging, and design concepts to attract and convert your ideal client. Write text to build trust and position your business as an authority. Create a logo and a website design that encourages your ideal client to take that next step. Consistently update your website and online profiles to build trust and validate your business online. Those are all super important. Um, Thank you so much for staying today, and we will get to the Q&As. And what I'll do is I'll let you guys raise your hands and then just bring you, and so you can, you know, ask your question online. Here is a link for our free audit, free brand website SEO audit. We really do a deep dive here. You can scan the QR code, or you can go to our website, homedesignermarketing.com/audit.